Hello everyone. If you remember correctly, last time I, we discussed about the eight pillars of prosperity. It was a brief introduction into what this topic of prosperity is really about and how prosperity is really an aspect that everyone yearns for. And so today we are gonna continue with that and we're gonna try and understand the very first pillar, energy. Energy is the working power in all achievement throughout the world. It is a virtue that can be cultivated by exerting yourself. Forcefully exerting yourself. We say that when a man has ceased to act and when his body lies still, he is dead. So as long as he acts, as long as he moves, and as long as he has energy, he is not dead. But there's also the lazy man. The lazy man who doesn't do work but at the same time does the hardest work. Since he doesn't try to expend energy early on in his life, as life goes on, he has to uh, put in more energy and work. And at the end of the day, the man who looks like he isn't doing anything, ends up doing more hard work. And it's not really the good kind of hard work at that point. The good kind means you're trying to do the work right now at the early age and when it's needed, not when you have failed and you are forced to work. It's a good kind of hard work when you have a choice to work at the same time you have the choice to slack off. It's a bad kind when you are forced to do the work. So this can be taken from the quote, the greater the sinner, the greater the saint. The greater uh, the person understands his mistakes, the better he uh, uplifts himself and gets back to work. And like I said, a good man is a person who has the ability to do evil but still chooses to do good. There's a lot of meaning behind this sentence, and you can really think about what it means. A calm man, being calm is an indication of a strong and well trained mind. A calm man can agree with his adversary at the same time work against him. This is not to be misunderstood with something like backstabbing. This is being strategically played by a calm man. Energy is a composite power. It means that it's not alone. There are a lot of things that have to be combined with energy. For example, promptitude, being prompt. A person who is alert and prompt is a person who is always relied on. Meanwhile, a person who procrastinates has little value in a person's life. This might sound a bit harsh, but a person who procrastinates work doesn't isn't liked that much by his colleagues or his friends. It might end up being temporary relationships. Next, vigilance. So vigilance is basically an aspect that you can say it an aspect which guards your mind against destructive elements. A fool allows his mind to be completely rocked. It can be something like being indulged and being addicted to social media. A person who is vigilant can realize that an absurd amount of social media is corrupting his mind and chooses to stop. Meanwhile, a fool allows his mind to be influenced by the destructive elements on something like social media. industry. Now, this might sound a bit weird at first glance, but it basically means people who keep you company. So, people who keep you company brings cheerfulness, and vigorous industrious people are the happiest people in throughout the community or society, because every person works together to uplift each other, and together it brings happiness to each and everyone. If a person talks to you about killing time, like simply wanting to talk about unnecessary things, or doing something like, let's say, watching a movie again and again which doesn't have any really good takeaways, or a person who simply wants to talk to you about unnecessary things on social media or such. So, talking about killing time itself is a confession of imbecility, a person who doesn't think much. Meanwhile, people who are useful to the society and to community receive from the community. A person who helps his friends and family and colleagues get help from his friends, family, and colleagues. Next, we have earnestness. Earnest people, there's a saying that earnest people don't die, and those who are not earnest are already dead. Earnest people, yeah, are usually found to make rapid progress in both work and character. For an earnest person, wasting time and being in stagnation can even mean death to them. It's a really big extreme, but it isn't very hard for a person to be earnest. Now, you can see that throughout this entire pillar, energy is about discipline. You have to be hard with yourself. You need to exert yourself to put more energy. You have to be earnest. You have to be honest. You have to put your mind to spend time on quality things and with quality people. So next up, we'll uh, discuss about the second pillar, economy. Thank you.